Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieve a flawless makeup application. I'm going to break down like the steps I follow, like things I do, the tips, techniques, products, tools I use to achieve a flawless makeup application. This particular tutorial right here is for days where I really want to look snatched. So it's not anything like an everyday makeup or a neutral makeup. We're really going to go there, like specifically for acne and oily prone skin, because as you all can see, I don't have a perfect skin. So I always try to do things, regarding my skin type, which is problematic oily skin. And the very first thing I start off with is a primer, because you guys know, like, you can't apply anything on your face without first of all applying a primer. So when it comes to primer, because of the fact that I have an oily skin, I love to go in with a mattifying primer. If you have a dry skin, I would probably advise you use a hydrating or a nourishing primers, because these are more high-end. We have the drugstore version. I love this Sasha mattifying primer and also the Rimmel Stay Matte primer. So if you don't want the high end, you can also invest in these two primers, because primers are very, very essential, especially if you want to achieve a flawless looking skin. The next thing I'm going to do will be to go ahead and blend out my primer, and some people prefer to use their hands to blend out their primer, but if you have a problematic skin, I will really ask that you use a brush instead of your hand, because no matter how clean you feel like your hand is, there is always bacteria on the hand, and when you have a problematic skin, you have to be extremely careful with what you're applying on your face. If you have my skin type, you have to color correct, and depending on what color of dark spots or blemishes you have, you can either go in with a green color correcting concealer or an orange one. But for me, I've always noticed that whenever I go in with a darker shade of concealer, like maybe a dark brown, it perfectly covers every single thing on my face. I'm going to go in with this brush right here, still from Beauty Crush Cosmetics, and I will pick up this dark brown shade. As you all can see, it's really, really dark. Because of the fact that the dark spots on my face are kind of dark brown, I love to go in with this concealer and then use it to spot on those areas. For some reason, I just feel like they perfectly covers the whole thing. Like, I've tried it a lot of times and I've noticed they cover every single thing on my face, so I just prefer to go in with this concealer. So I just put it on those areas and just let it be. I don't like blending it out. If you want to blend it out, you can, but I don't. And after that, the next thing is to go ahead and apply a foundation. And also, I forgot to tell you guys, when you apply your primer, whether you're using a hydrating or a mattifying primer, you have to let it sink into your skin. You have to give it probably a minute or two to sink into your skin before you then go on with color correcting. I forgot to tell you guys that. And for foundation, I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Lucky Tattoo foundation. Like, you guys, I rave so much about this foundation. When it comes to full coverage flawless makeup application, especially for problematic skin, I really do, like, I advise everybody to invest in a very good foundation. Like, when it comes to makeup, you guys, one thing I would seriously advise people to invest in is the tools. Like, you need a very good tool. When it comes to tools, I'm seriously in love with this brush collection from Beauty Crush Cosmetics. This brush is right here, you guys. It comes in 5 face brushes and 5 eye brushes. With this particular brush set I'm talking about, like, their foundation brush is very, very dense. Like, it's packed and it's dense, and most times whenever I'm blending my foundation, it takes me probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes whenever I want a full coverage foundation, because of the fact that the brush I always use are very, very small. But with this one, as you all can see, this is the new, like, this is the brand new one, and then this one is the one I've been using. They sent me too. So as you all can see, like this, like, the brushes are very, very packed. It's very, very dense, and when you start using it to apply your foundation, as you can see, something that takes me 3 minutes to blend out, it normally just takes me now at least like a minute to blend out all my face. Of course, like I said, they come in 5 sets. As you all can see, the powder brush is huge. This brushes kind of reminds me of the Sephora brushes, but of course one Sephora brush is like $40, $50, but this comes in a set for, I think, below $35 or something. So you guys, you definitely need to invest in a very good brush. Also, they have the 5-piece eye brushes. Like, these brushes are literally what I use these days because they are very, very affordable. So what I'm going to do now is I'll apply foundation on, it's kind of, I will divide my face into two. I'm going to blend one side of my face with a brush and then blend one side of my face with a makeup sponge, because so we can see like they all do an amazing job. And this particular Beauty Crush Cosmetics I'm talking about, they also have some amazing blenders, you guys, with some nice you know, shapes and, you know, curves. It's always advised to wet your blenders before you use it, because as you can see, this is the regular size, but then when you wet it, like, it becomes huge. I'm just gonna use the end points of the brush and just stipple the foundation all over my face. So I'm going to blend this side of my face with this foundation brush and then this side with a makeup sponge. And also, when I'm blending out my foundation, I love to stipple. I don't like to buff, because if you have a problematic skin, you need as much coverage as possible. Also, when I'm blending out my foundation, I love to, you know, take it down my neck, because you don't want to have two different colors on your face, on your body. Like, your neck is one color and then your face is another color. Can you guys see the coverage? And also, you know, some brushes, when you use some brushes, they just kind of suck up your product, but this one just perfectly distributes it all over the face without taking one single product. As you all can see, like, the whole process of the brush is still very, very matte. You know, when your brushes suck up your foundation, you would see the foundation, like, all the, it kind of looks jelly on the brush. But this one right here, the bristles, because of the fact it's very, very packed, so it just blends out your foundation without sucking up the product. This is what we have with the brush, and then I'm going to go in with the blender. And like I said, you need to wet your blender, because as you all can see, this looks, you know, small, but then when you go ahead and wet your blender, it doubles in size. This is the size, you guys. And also, don't forget to put it in a towel and dry out the water, because especially if you have an oily skin, you don't want to like leave any moisture on your sponge. So you want to go ahead and make sure you dry out all the water from the sponge. And also, even with the sponge, I love to stipple. Another thing I love about this blender is the fact that, you know, it blends out your foundation without sucking it up. Like, you don't need to keep buying your foundation every month. Once you know how to apply it and the right tool to use. Because some blenders out there, they just like, they use straw and they suck up all the product, but this one just blends it out. Oh my gosh, this is definitely one of the reasons I love Kat Von D Lucky Tattoo foundation. This right here is the side I blended with the brush, and this right here is the side I blended with the blender. So you all can see, like, everything just blends out really, really nice. So the next thing would be to highlight, and I absolutely love Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This right here is perfect for people with oily skin because it's really, really mattifying. I also have a drugstore alternative, which is the E.Y.E.B.R.O.W Conceal in Fawn. I'm definitely going to be using the Fawn because I just love the tints, like the orange tints it gives to my skin. I'm just going to use it to highlight my under eye. And apart from my under eye, my chin and my forehead, I also like to apply my concealer by the sides of my mouth, because I've noticed sometimes when I don't do this, the round, like this area of my mouth tends to be dark whenever I'm done with my makeup application. Okay, so since I have a lot of blenders here, I'm definitely going to utilize the opportunity to try out all these blenders. I would normally just go in with the one I used to apply my foundation to blend out my concealer, but I'll use this pink one. And as you all can see, this right here, it looks so cute, the color, and also the fact that it has this shape, you know, this curve right here. It's perfect for getting into like the sides of the nose. So I'm going to use this blender and start blending out my concealer. And whenever I'm blending out my concealer, you guys, I love to leave it right on my under eye. Some people like to extend it all the way almost to their hairline, and for me, I feel like whenever I do that, it makes my face look wide. So if you already have a wide face, please don't do this. Just try to blend the concealer right on your under eye. And also sometimes I love to take it into my lid. Whenever I do this, I just go ahead and apply my eyeshadow without a primer, because you can also use your concealer as a primer. Oh my gosh, this blender gives a very nice seamless blend. I'm going to go ahead and just blend out everything. Whenever you use a brand new sponge, it always snacks on the skin until probably after a few washes, maybe 2-3 washes, it just, you know, starts adjusting perfectly to the skin. But this one right here, although this is my first time using it, it's just like it blends out the concealer perfectly well. Jeez, I'm very, very impressed. For my forehead highlight, I just love to focus it right here. I don't like taking it all the way to my hairline, because when you do that, it's going to give you a wide, like it's going to give you a huge forehead. So you just want to keep it right here and just continue stippling your blender. And also when it comes to concealer, I prefer using a blender. I don't know who uses brushes to blend out their concealer. Blenders are your best friend when it comes to concealer. This right here is also going to be perfect for contouring, because as you all can see, this edge right here makes it really, really easy to get to the sides of the nose. Next, to set, I'm going to be using Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose powder in the shade Blondie, and it's kind of, it reminds me so much of the benign banana powder or the Sasha buttercup powder. It has that yellow tinge to it. And before I go ahead and apply the powder, I love to go back in and just make sure I press the concealer onto my under eye, because you don't want any creases there. And then I'll go ahead and set. And whatever amount of powder you pick up with this blender, it just perfectly deposits it under your eye without sucking up any product. So once that is done, I love to go ahead and use MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Dark to set my whole entire face. And I'll be using BC105 face powder brush. And you guys, look at how huge this powder brush is. When you go ahead and swipe, you know, the powder all over the skin, like, it doesn't add any coverage. So if you need more coverage with your powder, the best bet is just to go ahead and push it into your skin, like just the way I'm doing it right here. Apart from the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, you can also use a drugstore version. My favorite drugstore setting powder is the L'Oreal True Match setting powder in C6. If you follow my channel, you know I'm obsessed with this powder right here. I'm not really a big fan of bronzers, but ever since I discovered this product, and it's from Dalton Cosmetics, ever since I discovered this product, you guys, I've been loving to bronze up my face, because bronzing just helps to, you know, give you color, and it just helps to give warmth to the face. And you know, sometimes when sometimes some bronzers come really too orangey or too dark, but this one right here is just perfect. I love to go in with the same brush, with the same Beauty Crush 105 face powder brush, because this brush, you can use it for your face, you know, to set your face, and also because of the fact that it comes with a pointy angle to it, I also love to use it to bronze. So I'm going to go in with the same brush, pick up the product. I just love to gradually sweep it. As you all can see, like, just gradually sweeping it, you're already creating, like, making that shadow very obvious. You just want to do it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right on my hairline. Also going to sweep the bronzer on my jawline. Using Beauty Crush 108 Precision Angled, I'm going to go into my Anastasia contour kit, and I will pick up the shade Cinnamon. I'm going to use the shade right here because I love my face to be really warm. Some people love to take their contour down, but for me I love to leave it right here because it's right on my cheekbone, so it helps kind of define my cheekbone. And also with the same contour brush, I'm going to use it to just contour my nose. I love to highlight before applying my blush because whenever I do that, it helps to get rid of any lines from my highlights. And for highlights, this right here is one of my absolute favorites, and it's the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo. I love to use this highlight shade from the palette. I love to just go ahead and press it on my skin before buffing it out. I also love to take the highlight right like a little bit above my temple. I also love to apply my highlight on my Cupid's bow. Apply it right at the tip of my nose. I'm going to be using this Tarte blush right here, and I just love to use a smaller brush, pick it up, tap off any excess, and then use it to apply on my cheekbone. Applying the blush after your highlights just helps melt the highlight into your skin. Your powder brush is your best friend because you can always go in and use it to finally blend everything, so make sure there are no lines whatsoever on your face. Alright you guys, so I wanted this video to be more on the base, like your foundation, your concealer, the right tools, products, technique, you know, to achieve a very nice flawless makeup. The way it's looking, I'm just going to go ahead and just finish up the rest of my face, and I'm going to be using my Beauty Crush eye brushes. It comes in 5 different eye sets, as you all can see. They have, you know, the necessary brushes you need for your eyeshadow. So I'm just going to quickly go into my Anastasia custom palettes, the 4 custom palettes, and just quickly do my eyes. Going to go in with this kind of warm brown eyeshadow right here and just apply it right on my crease. I love a very nice precise brush for applying my eyeshadow. Like, I don't like big blending brushes. As you all can see, this is really precise and it gets right on the socket of the crease. Investing in tools really matter when it comes to how flawless you want your makeup to look. Then for my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and line with Sleek Twist Up pencil. And then I'll create a very, you know, tiny wing liner. I'm just going to go ahead and apply mascara. Alright, so I went ahead and put on my favorite lashes, and the last thing is to go ahead and apply lipstick, and I'm using this red lipstick from E.Y.E.B.R.O.W Cosmetics. Like I said, I wanted this video to be more on the base, but I just wanted to finish up my whole face on camera. Okay, so here we are with the final look. I went ahead and, you know, popped on some red lip color, and that is it, you guys. As you all can see, like, everything is nice and blended. There is no you know, harsh lines, there is no division. I just love it when I'm going for a flawless makeup application to have that very nice seamless look. You don't want to have, you know, a demarcation between your blush, your highlight and your contour. Everything just needs to blend in and look flawless, and it all boils down to the products, the tools, the tips and the techniques. Like, these 3 things, once you have it at the back of your mind, you're definitely going to achieve a very nice flawless makeup application. Try as much as possible to invest in good products. You don't need a high end. You can also achieve a very nice flawless looking skin with drugstore. But then when it comes to tools, you know, like, you just want to invest in tools, because using the right tools can make or break your makeup. So yeah, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'm definitely going to link every product I mentioned in this video in my description box, alongside if I have any coupon code. So check my description box. Please hit that like button below, because it just helps me know, like, that you guys enjoyed my video. And also, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and till my next video, I will see you all very soon.